How does having ADHD and autism affect you?
I can say this now. I think over the years, it's really kind of dawned on me that recognizing the specific things I need for myself and recognizing how I need to be confident about approaching the people I work with and relationships, how I engage um, in the day to day, you know, um, with people and the work and the things I do, because you kind of mask all these years doing what you do, thinking it works, and there's times you realize it's not work. You have to be honest with yourself. And okay, what do I need to do? What is it that I need to look at? What can I do to support myself? What do I need to ask for others to help myself, to help me? It was really interesting. The psychologist who took the assessment said, I'm sorry to have to tell you, you're autistic and ADHD." And I found that profoundly. Um, it's a strange thing when somebody says it's a sad thing. When I was kind of like, "Oh, that was a strange thing to say to somebody, who has a diagnosis."
Mm.
So that was the first kind of, oh, I mean, this is the psychologist talking to me, and he's younger, kind of experience. So it wasn't a shock. Um, but it was also the shock was how the psychologist approached me about confirming the diagnosis.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
that was a telling story, as if there was something amiss about being autistic and ADHD. Give me the confidence to ask what I need to help myself, and that's a huge thing, to have the courage to say, actually, this is not a disability. It is. Um, I am unique. So what I need is unique for me. And I had to change the language because, yes, I signed the disability. If there's always a form for an employment or whatever, I always sign it because it's under there.
Yeah.
So I think that is crucial for me. It's given me the courage and the confidence to say to people, this is this help and support I need to help you get the best of me.
How easy was it to let your line manager and colleagues know about your diagnosis?
It's not been easy. They were all initially all very accommodating and saying, "Oh yes, we can support you," and actually, they it's been very dismissive. They don't have the tools or the place or the right questions, and they assume they can fix you. I mean, the latest episode was I had somebody who said to me, "I can fix you," after going on an open university course, and I was shocked. I was kind of really just kind of made me physically ill. Um, a lot of workplace employers aren't really ready. I think they want to be compassionate, but I think it's how you express that, how you show that, what your values are in a trust or an organization, how you practice it. I think in practice it's very badly managed in my experience.
Do you feel that that is exacerbated by being ethnically diverse as well?
Coming from an Asian family, mixed Asian family, mixed, every generation is a mixed race.
Mm.
Um, we just thought it was normal. The way we express ourselves, the way we mask, the way we mute. We just, and then you start to realize actually this isn't atypical, ordinary individuals. This is something quite unique. And I don't know, I mean, there's so much research to be done in this area for people from global communities. I like the word global communities.
What's been the biggest impact of having ADHD and autism in relation to work for you?
I think communication for me, I've over the years really simplified my communication so it's to the point. Now, some people, I always say to them when I first engage with them in terms of emails or communication relationship, that my emails are going to be short and to the point. Before, I used to write long emails, just an example, and the message got lost
Mm.
in the email.
Mm.
So then I realized actually what's better is to be concise.
Mm.
And there was one HR director who really prepared me for an interview for a job for many years back. And she said, "What you can often say in 10 sentences, you can say in five or three.
Mm.
That's a skill, and you have to learn to do that." And I find that really useful, both in, in speaking to people, if I'm presenting, or if I'm writing to people through correspondence. And then actually knowing what works for me in terms of working patterns. Now I have a uh, condensed week because I know that actually I need more time um,
Mm,
to for myself to recover and to recuperate. So then I work hard over 4 days. So I
mm,
have a condensed 4 days. So I work, 9.5 hours, 3 days, and whatever it is left remaining
mm,
um, on the last day. And then I have a 3 day period where I'm not working or I'm doing things. That really has given me strength and courage to say, actually, I'm looking after myself.
yeah,
Um, so I suppose that is important to recognize what you need. It may be that your organization, um, hasn't quite got to the idea that this is a good thing to work with people's strength rather in terms of giving them the space and the time and the environment. The other thing is the environment. Of course, that's a massive play on me. So I have multiple oversensitivities, sound, lights, no smells.
mm,
So I have a diffuser that I use for myself on my own. I mean, I have my own office. I mean, I don't have it now at the moment. I'm working from home, but I would accommodate the space. So how do you accommodate the space to make it comfortable for you, knowing that you're going to be, having moments where it's going to be intense. There's going to be times where it's not intense, but it gives you. You've got to make that space for you
mm.
so it works for you. So that's really
Yeah.
important.
The support that you said that line managers or organizations should offer, I felt were quite strong and quite unique.
Well-being recovery action plan. What keeps you well? What is that vision of yours? What are the things that your triggers? What are the signs of breakdown? What is it at crisis point? What is it post-crisis? And how is that supported through knowledge, support, help, um, your networks? What networks support you? It's okay to say you don't know how to help. I think that's the first thing you should say as an organization. I'm not, I don't know how to help you. You show us the path and the road you want us to travel with. Let's travel on this together. To be open is to keep an open mind and an open heart is important because um, it's giving you an option to have the best possible support to be the best version of you. That's how we've got to see it. How do we help each other shine? You know, and if we can do that, then the label doesn't matter. What matters is how do we help you be the best version of you in any given moment. However big the organization is, the leadership um, part should have an ability to coach people, and they should take that on a serious so that it gives opportunities for people who are neurodiverse to take a um, opportunity to look at where they are in their role, but also how they bring value into the large organization. And that can really only happen when you have somebody at the very top. People will say to me, oh, well, that can happen with somebody who's your line manager. Well, actually, the line manager's role is specific. Somebody who can bring out, somebody who can recognize what you offer the world and how you go about being the best version of that offering. So if you want to bring in a life coach or somebody, so it's almost bringing in people who can start to say, look, you have all of these talents, but with your neurodiversity, you don't get the chance or opportunity sometimes to recognize this is the skill set, this is what you can do, this is what you're doing, this is what you've done. Often probation is 6 months or 3 months, and you're not going to get most people come into a job, they're already quite nervous. Neurodiverse, we're going to have breakdowns. We're going to have moments where it's not working for us, and that may come across as this person can't do the job. It's not often that. It's often actually where we've not been confident or courageous enough to say, this is what we need. And yes, it's my new job. So you need more time. You need to spend more time with me. So they should, every organization should implement, specifically for neurodiverse, a longer, if it's 6 months, it should be 12 months. So remind me of the question. You see, there's the ADHD. I've jumped off on a story about myself.